I got to pre my hero.
Is it
Double S. L-I-N-G.
Okay, Star Wars fans. So here I am sitting with Mr. Mike Kessling. So how's your day going?
Well, I'm out of the main event, so it could be going better, but overall doing pretty well.
So what happened exactly?
I won my first match. I played against one of the younger players from South Carolina, and I was fortunate in my first game in that I'm playing map, traditional map for Darkside. He was playing Hidden Base, the lock weapons deck, and he wasn't super experienced with the deck. So I was fortunate to come out of that one with a win by 7. It took me, I probed successfully on the 5th try, and then was able to get the final damage through and win. He did successfully shoot all my ships out of space before the end of the game. So there was a moral victory for him there. And then the second game, he was playing ISB, I played Old Allies. And
that's a coin flip.
It can be difficult.
Depending on which ISB.
Yeah, so his was, he pulled Mustafar and played some guys over there. He had General Navarre at the Imperial City. So it was non-traditional ISB. And I was able to find Lieutenant Blunt fairly quickly and came down with Blunt, EPP Chewie, and solo against the Navarre and overflowed him for a significant amount. And the game from there was pretty much over. So I came out of the first round, and then my next round opponent was Keith Brown. So he's the 5 seed. Keith and I live within a couple hours of each other, so we play at the same local tournaments. So he put me on map, which I'm not surprised because I've been playing it for about the last year, and I stuck with Old Allies, so he wasn't surprised by either of my decks. But he played ROPS for Darkside, which I haven't had a ton of luck with Old Allies against.
Yeah, and from what everybody has said, Old Allies is not good in the meta because of ROPS at this point.
So I was able to win that game on time by 7. I had 13 left to his 6 when time was called, and I was in probably a winning position from there, but it would have been single digits. The game was pretty much came down to I had Tana 4 early to Raltier with the Falcon loaded up with guys, and then I came to a site and kept him flipped almost the whole game where I had solo Chewie and Rose, and so most of our game was dancing around. So I didn't flip until very late in the game. So I went aggressively against Raltier to keep him flipped. And then he struggled to find some of his walkers and things. I was able to cancel he tried to trample something, and I was able it was his last destiny, and I made him redraw it with you do have your moments. So there were just a lot of things kind of went my way that game, and so I was able to get that out. Unfortunately, in the next game, he was playing Throne Room, and he had multiple see around kids in his deck. I had issues finding the Jakku system. I missed a sight pull. And he, by turn 2, had all his activation and 3PO out, and he got Tana 4 on turn 2 with Rey and Poe up to Jakku, loaded that up with Luke and a couple other characters, and then eventually flew down to the Starkiller base sites, flipped me back. And it came down to, essentially, I was too force choked, and he was way too far ahead, and he blew me out in 2 battles in a row. He blew me out of space and blew me out the ground, and I could see it. So it was a tough match. He was smart to put me on map, and he was benefited by having multiple that new era for sure.
So you just pretty much just decided on 2 decks beforehand. Did you look at the bracket and make any decisions off of those, or was it just more along the lines of you knew that you wanted to play 2 decks that you felt strong with, and you didn't care who you played it with?
More the latter. I mean, if I made it through Keith, I was going to have to play Reed, and so I felt like my best chance against him was playing decks that I was comfortable with. I also was on vacation for the last 2 weeks out of the country, so I did a good bit of playtesting in March, and then kind of decided, here's the 2 or 3 decks for each side I'm going to play. And in the last 2 days, Brian, Fred, and I playtested a lot, and then last night I played Old Allies in the team tournament and did well with it, and I said, I know this deck, I'm just going to play it.
Makes sense. So, yeah, how did the team tournament go for you?
Our first round opponents didn't show up, so we won that one. And then our next round, we played against Greg Shaw and Taco Bill. And I was playing Old Allies, and Fred was playing Map Blasters. They were playing Old Allies and regular map. And Fred and I managed to win both games by like 20 to 25 force. And then the next round, we played against Mike Turner and Chris Gobelin, and the winners would win Goblin was playing Hunt Down, I was playing Old Allies, and I pulled that one out. And then Fred won with Map Blasters against Throner. So we took the team tournament.
Okay, nice. So you guys
successful. I got some
going home
mugs.
with I was gonna say you're going home with some mugs, which is nice. So, is this how many MPCs have you came to? Is this your?
At least 5 or 6. I don't know exactly, but I played in a decent number.
Yeah. So, do you like the MPC format versus the normal Swiss, or is it just?
I do. It's unique. I mean, it's fun to have one tournament a year to do it. I mostly play Star Wars as much as have fun, so it's cool to do something different. Yeah, and it's interesting some of the card choices that you might make for match play versus not, and things like that. I mean, I spent 10 minutes last night discussing limited resources with Brian Fred, and that's not a card I would typically put in a deck. So it's just fun, the situations that you get into.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm drawing a blank at this point. So what do you think of the meta right now? I know that you see like a lot of the ROPs, you see fewer OA than normal. There's still programs, there's still mains.
I think there's plenty of viable decks on both sides. So it's a fairly diverse meta. There's a decent amount of EDO here. There's Old Allies. There's different main decks for light side. There's Diplo. There's Watch Your Step. For dark, I mean, reasonable decks. You've got Hunt Down. You've got ROPs. You've got Map. Different versions of Map, and then there's some fringe dark side decks that could be good, like Evasion or even like Choose Dark Deal deck. So
I've seen a few ISBs.
Multiple ISBs.
I know Fred is playing his.
Yep.
His particular ISB that he went to, I want to say it was Indoor, and did well with. The meta itself seems like it's a lot more diverse because I know at Indoor you didn't really see any ROPs. You saw mostly ISBs and Hunt-Downs versus everything else. But
I think that's a testament to ROPs was still fairly new at that time. So like Clayton played it and did well with it, and he knows ROPs in and out. So like I wasn't surprised to see him show up with that. I think people generally waited till they had a better sense by playing on GIMP, like what had the right build of ROPs to bring it here versus testing something new, sort of unproven in it.
So do you play a lot on GIMP, or is it more just like you want to play in person?
Mostly, I might play a game or two a month on GIMP. Most of the time, if I play, it's in person, but I don't play all that frequently, to be honest with you.
Okay. But you said you do play on like locals?
Yeah, when we have them, I go to those. So I might play in a tournament every month or two, but I don't play much in between them. And I keep a pulse on what's going on and talk to people at decks. I watch a lot more GIMP than I do play. So when I have a break at work or like some time to kill, I'll pull up and see what games are being watched. So like I do have a sense of what's going on, but I don't play as much as I used to. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Appreciate your time.
You gonna be around for tonight and tomorrow, or?
Yep. Yeah, I leave on Monday. I'm playing in the Constellation now. So.
How's that going for you?
So we started 2-0 because of the buys, and then I just got lucky. I played against Mike Turner. He was playing hidden base weapons as well, and he played. There was a big battle where he came down and he played to interrupt that pulls a weapon from your reserve deck, and unfortunately he had no weapons in his reserve deck. And that pretty much swayed the game. He then had to move away, and I came down with Tarkin and Thrawn and Chimera and overflowed Gold Leader and Gold 1 for a huge amount of damage. It took 6 tries to get the hidden base in this game, so I'm not good at reading what people's hidden bases are. That's what I've learned.
So that's a deck we're not seeing a lot of, is that the hidden base, especially with weapons. Do you think that's because of the Thrawn, or is that more... It's not an easy deck to play. I know
he wasn't playing the lock version, so he was playing more of the European B-wing, like intruder missiles, concussion missiles deck. So that's a pretty rogue out there deck, I'd say. I think hidden base is somewhat deterred by the new Thrawn, but honestly, I haven't seen them playing the new Thrawn. So you can roll the dice and say, if my opponent doesn't have this, I'm going to roll the shit.
Well, thank you again.
Appreciate it.
Go have fun in the Constellation.
Will do. Thank you.